Hello there, ladies and gents. I'm going to try to keep this one quick because I'm super tired. But there are some things that I want to say before I forget about them. As you can see, I'm at the new host, and the space up here is huge. I've almost got the entire, well, I pretty much have the entire top floor of the house to myself, albeit there's two bedrooms that I don't or shouldn't go in. And, I've even got like a whole bathroom to myself up here. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I think well, I've had a bit of a stressful time of late, so being able to relax and kick back a bit is sorely necessary. Which is good because after this host, I haven't really got much planned out yet. I do have my next host in Kansai contacted. After that, I'm guessing I'll go to Tokyo because I've only started to consider this. After that, it's going to be June, and my ticket right now is booked to go back on the 20th of June. Uh, but I was told again, another contradiction to what I've been back and forth on about a million times, is that I might be able to extend my visa without getting a working holiday visa, just apply for a visa extension. But I won't know until I can visit the UK embassy when I get to Tokyo. So we'll find out in June, and if that's the case, I might get my ticket changed. I might be able to stay for a few more months. I think the longest I would stay till is October, because that's when the applications for the jet next year start, and I'd like to be back in the UK and apply for that and be all ready. Because I mean, I don't know if I ever want to live in Japan, certainly permanently, but next year I think I definitely want to go ahead with this jet thing. It looks like a lot of fun, and probably better pay than whatever crappy pay I'm going to get in the UK anyway. Got no plans for when I head back home. I quit my job, like I said in the first video, before I came out here, because, well, that was a terrible, soul-crushing job anyway, and I'm surprised I stuck at it for the year I did. But I'm glad I did, because now I have the money to be in Japan. Anyway, the host is pretty sweet. Uh, 1 second. Sorry, I just got rudely interrupted. The person who did that will know who they are. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? I'm not technically in Hiroshima now. I'm in Hongo, which is an hour's train ride away from Hiroshima. And man, the day I came out from Fukuoka was a bit of a debacle. The first bus that I was supposed to take was at 10:20, and I missed it by a couple of minutes. I was feeling very ill that day as well, which did not help. And so I kind of got there, and they were like, "Yeah, the next one is in 5 hours, 3 o'clock," and I was like, "God damn it!" I wasn't that mad, but I didn't expect it to be that much later. And so I went and milled around the mall, watched the Dragon Ball Z movie that's just come out. Major spoiler alert, I can confirm that dudes got punched, also kicked, and that beams of energy were fired. Sorry if anyone was planning on watching the film. Uh, but yeah, I got to Hiroshima, I got to Hongo about 10 p.m. And I was worried I had to like ring my host when I got here, but because I was so late, I rang him when I got to Hiroshima just to let him know that like I'm still coming and I'm gonna be in Hongo in an hour. But yeah, they're actually really nice people. Um, the work itself is pretty standard work for stuff. They've got chickens, they grow stuff, they've got like patches of farm all around the town. Yesterday I just went and like got the chickens' eggs and cleaned them, and it was my first day, so pretty easy. Today I did fairly standard stuff like just picking out weeds, again like washing the chickens' eggs. I buried the last woofer that was here, and yesterday was really interesting as well. Uh, there's a local election happening in Japan right now. Well, it's going to happen next week, And this is really, really interesting for me, while funny, because there are vans driving around everywhere. They have obviously election campaign posters and they put things through the doors, just like in the UK and the other heathen countries. But they have these vans that drive around saying things to the effect of, "My name is Greg. Let's do our best. Thank you so much. Ganbatte. Yoroshiku onegai." And they have like cute sounding women say these things, because obviously that's the best way to make yourself be taken seriously, apparently. Just fucking drive around saying this completely pointless shit so that people know your name, I guess. I mean, maybe there is a point to it. I'll probably end up asking soon, once I'm past that particular politeness barrier. Speaking of which, yeah, last night they know a local MP who they support, and there was a meeting here, so there was a bunch of people around, and this was my first full day. So I was trying desperately not to cock things up and say something bad, because I've always got an anticipation that something bad is going to happen, because I'm usually right. They actually asked me. The husband of the MP was a really, really funny guy. Uh, he had a great American joke. But yeah, he asked me as well, like, so Margaret Thatcher is dead. You sad about that? And I was like, I oh, that was a difficult moment for me, because his wife is a female MP as well, but she like pointed out at that point. But I was like, I I can't bring myself to say no, that I'm sorry that she's dead, because Margaret Thatcher like is a horrendous, wasn't just an evil, evil lady, in my opinion. Who, I was tempted to say she's the antagonist of one of my favourite films. That's kind of what I think of her. So I just kind of like avoided the question. I just like didn't answer it. That's the best I could do. I mean, maybe they don't like her either. I don't know, but uh, little awkward. And then there was like a meeting that went on for like 40 minutes, and they were like, gave me a seat as well, and like coffee. So I was just like kind of sat there, and poor lady kept getting interrupted because there was like kids. It was almost like a party as well. There were kids and there were people that like turned up late, probably drinking or something. I don't know. But then they were like, after that, my hosts very graciously were like, "The shower's ready, Greg. You can use the shower." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then after I got out, everyone was gone, which is kind of a shame, because I did want to talk to people. There were some really cool people there. And my Japanese does seem to be coming along really well. I mean, like the last host, I kind of figured after a while, I decided they just were not good at speaking to people that did not understand Japanese. My host was fantastic, my host himself, but for the cafe, I was working with a different person each day, and yeah, some usually they just spoke in really overly complex stuff for someone who only understands basic Japanese. Whereas the hosts I've got now, they're absolutely fantastic. They will say something first in Japanese, always, and then say it in English, usually, like if I don't immediately respond, which I am actually kind of doing most of the time. Like I said, my Japanese seems to have come along really, really well, and I will just, if I don't know a particular word, I'll just say all the sentence without that word and then use the English word for that particular bit in like a Japanesized way, and that usually gets the point across while allowing me to practice my Japanese. But yeah, they'll say the Japanese and then the English, so it's fantastic for learning. I'm just being exposed to this all day, and this host as well, I don't have to cook a thing, which is great. Really great. I don't have to worry about thinking what to make for food. I don't have to worry about. Well, I wash up my own plate, and that's it. And they give me tea and stuff like that, and fruit. And at lunchtime today, like after food, they just like, yeah, going back to work at 3 o'clock. And granted, we work until like 6:30, but overall it ain't so bad. I think we work over 6 hours, maybe, but you know, overall, it's really relaxing in comparison. And yeah, it reminds me a lot of my first host. But I'll be staying here for 3 weeks, maybe even. I've been thinking about asking if I can stay up to 4 weeks. But my main thing is like, what am I gonna do after? Like, will I have the time to still go to Tokyo and stuff like that? I think I probably will end up asking him. Maybe my next host, I'll just stay there for 2 weeks because I don't know if my next host is going to be any good or not. Then again, I also might want to just take some time in a hotel and stay around Hiroshima or near Kyoto or something like that because I still haven't met my friend's friend who lives in Kyoto. And yeah, I mentioned that I wanted to see the Hiroshima Peace Memorial, so they're going to take me out to see that, or I'll just go out on my day off, which is going to be on Sunday. So yeah, anyway, good stuff overall, and I'm pretty content and I feel quite relaxed having just had my bath. So I'll speak to you folks in the future time.